Hi everyone, so I am going to be doing a twist and talk today because it's been about 2 weeks since I have filmed a video and I have been itching to get on here to tell you guys kind of what's been going on. I am totally ready for bed. It has been a crazy 2 weeks. So if you can't tell by the title, we are going to talk about Hurricane Irma and kind of like what my family did and how we came to the conclusion and all that good stuff. So first off, shout out to this hairstyle right here that has been holding me down for the past 2 weeks. I literally would wash my hair and just put it up in this and just kind of go about my day, which really helped. The hair's already stretched out, so I kind of want a little bit more volume, I guess, tomorrow. So I'm just gonna be twisting this side, like one at a time. Man, length check. So yeah, this is definitely stretched out here. So anywho, I am going to be adding a little bit of aloe vera juice mixed with water just to kind of make my hair more pliable. And I'm going to be using my trusted Comet Biologics Ethiopica Hydrate and Twist Butter, one of my favorites, and it smells amazing. So let's just go ahead and get on into this. We will start out last Sunday. We kind of got our meteorologists were just telling us about Irma and what she was doing. They were stating that she was one of the biggest storms that they had seen so far, that she was like nothing that anyone had ever seen. So me not being from Florida, instantly in a panic. I don't really panic that much during hurricane season, usually, because usually we don't have any big storms. Like last year, it was like 2 weeks after I had Kira, we had Hurricane Matthew, and it was only like a tropical storm, maybe a category 1, which is not that bad at all. So that's last year, literally almost like a year to date, we found out about Irma. So Sunday, we're looking at the models from the meteorologists and they're just like, big storm, you guys got to keep an eye on this one, blah, blah, blah. So Monday is Labor Day and I am looking at this storm and it is a big one. It's like about to hit like Puerto Rico. It's going to hit like Dominican Republic, all these Caribbean islands, the US Virgin Islands, like, and I'm not talking about like hitting it at like a Cat 1. I'm talking about hitting it at like a Cat 4 or 5, which are like the biggest storms. On top of having the winds from the hurricane, they were talking about like having a surge or whatever, the surge waters. So yeah, Monday, I was like, okay, let me just see. It wasn't supposed to hit our area until the following Monday. So we had a whole week. I was like, let me just keep an eye. We'll see what's going on. I couldn't go to the store. I had majority of my supplies. I had like, we have like an emergency go bag, that are backpacks full of supplies to last us up to 72 hours in case of an emergency. But if we were going to like hunker down and stay, we needed to have, food for longer than 72 hours because sometimes your power doesn't come back and all that stuff. So I decided to do that on Tuesday. Got up bright and early, got gas in my car on Tuesday, got my water. I got to the store at 8:30. They normally open at 9, but because of hurricane, they opened up at 7 a.m. I did not know this. I just happened to be up and I was looking at the time to see when they open and they said they were already open. So I got my butt up there. 8:30, got my water for my family. I didn't overdo it. There were some people that were being absolutely ridiculous and buying up cases and cases so that they can like upsell them. I got 4 cases for my family, and it was sold out by 9 o'clock by the time I was checking out. It was mayhem. I didn't have to wait too much for gas. I was getting gas, but people were definitely preparing. So we're looking at the models on Tuesday and I'm seeing that people are booking flights. I mean, flights are booked up until like Saturday. And the ones that are available are ridiculous prices. I'm talking like $3,000 for like not first class. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I told my husband, look, this is serious. I don't feel safe. I don't know what is going to happen. I want to get out of here. And even my friends who are like born and bred in Florida will sit through anything. We're like, no, we're getting out of here. And I was like, you know what? You don't have to tell me twice. So the model at that time was showing that it was only going to be on the East Coast, like a direct hit on the East Coast. I'm in Tampa, which is on the west side of the state. My husband and I decided that what we would do is we would go to sleep early on Tuesday night and we would drive up to Kentucky where my sister lives on Wednesday to try to beat the crowd. Like, even though it was saying it was going to hit the East Coast, I didn't feel comfortable because that's too far out in advance. Like, your hurricane can shift, all that stuff. So we woke up at 3:30 a.m. Wednesday, September 6th. That's the day my son turned 4. We woke up early, put the kids in the car. We packed the car up the night before, and it was just an eerie feeling. Like, we literally packed up, I think we had like one bag each, because we knew we would stay up there for at least a week, maybe a little bit longer. So I'm literally like picking up my baby. Kevin already has everyone else in the car, and I'm like putting things up high on shelves. Like, we're not in a flood zone, but just in case something like weird were to happen, you just left everything behind pretty much. And we both told ourselves, like, that's why we have insurance. These are just things. And I wasn't even like, I started crying, and I wasn't even crying about the things. I could care less about things. They're not more important than my life. The thing that I was like crying about was the fact that I didn't know for sure if my kids would have a home to come back to. Like, that's the thing that was a little scary. Like, if it was just Kevin and I, it wouldn't have been scary, but the fact that I'm like a mom, it was a lot. So we leave at 4 a.m. We drive. This was our first time, like, long drive. We drive all the way up to Kentucky. We make it there at like 6 o'clock at night. So pretty good time. Roads completely clear because everyone was still trying to like decide if they were going to leave or not. We literally left really early. So we're keeping an eye on this storm, and all of a sudden it is shifting west, like every day, shifting more and more west, more and more west. And by Friday, they were saying it was going to be a direct hit to Tampa, and it was going to be a Category 4. Now, granted, we were safe and sound with my sister, but I had a lot of friends that hadn't left yet, or they decided they were just going to stay, and I was freaking out. And come Saturday, still looking like a Cat 4, and just again freaking more and more out. I'm safe, but I'm texting my friends, making sure that they're okay, making sure that they're boarded up, if they are staying, if they have enough. There was literally like no food. I saw my friends like on Facebook, they were talking, people were going at like 5 a.m. to like spots to get water. There was no bread. There was like nothing. People didn't even have like plywood. Some of them didn't have plywood. There was nothing to board up their house with. Even being from afar, I was just like, I hope all my friends are safe. And it was just really stressful. So, while we were up there, I was very thankful that I was with my family. I got to spend time with both two of my sisters and their family, my nieces and my niece and my nephews. The drive up was great. We got to see the mountains in Tennessee, and got to show Xander and Kira, and Xander like loved the mountains. They slept most of the time. It was so good. So Sunday comes, and Sunday night is when it was going to start to hit Tampa. Naples, Bonita Springs, Fort Myers got hit horribly bad, and I have friends that live down there as well. Thankfully, majority of my friends had left by that time. And Sunday, we see that it shifts a little bit, so Tampa's not direct hit. but they were advising people in flood zones in Tampa to evacuate on, I think, Friday, Saturday. And they also had a curfew for people in Tampa, and then in like St. Petersburg, which is another city. It's not too far, it's south of Tampa, a city that we used to live in. So again, very, very thankful that, you know, we were gone. Then after the storm hits, we see that it wasn't as bad as what they predicted. But again, thankful. It didn't hit us at a 4. It hit Tampa, I think, at a 2 or a 1. I can't remember. But our house did not sustain any damage. There was no trees or anything like that. We had no damage. We did lose power because when we came home, we did see that we lost power for a little bit. But I have friends still. The hurricane happened last Monday, so it's been a week, that are still without power. There were linemen coming from all over the country, coming into Florida to try to help them. Jacksonville got devastated near the ocean. It was stressful. And I know that, I mean, we've lived here for 8 years. We've never evacuated. It's never been anything, especially on the west side. The west side of the state, Tampa Bay, like, hasn't got a direct hit in 100 years. Like, it's, a lot of people feel as though that, oh, it's not a real big deal. Like, we never get hit. But this one, Irma was no joke. Everyone was on edge. And now that she is over, we have Maria that we are looking at that is about to hit the Caribbean yet again. So they were just hit by Irma a week ago, and they're getting hit again. Right now, it's not supposed to hit Florida, but again, these are just models. You get a model like a week out, and you kind of just have to make this decision on whether you want to leave everything and evacuate or kind of wait it out. And it's no like rhyme or reason. You literally are just kind of like waiting and seeing. I had friends that waited to see what was going to happen, and they decided to leave at like a Thursday or Friday, and they were sitting in traffic for over like 10 hours just trying to get from Tampa into Georgia, taking 75. It only takes 4 hours normally. It took us 4 hours to get, when we left, from Tampa to the Georgia line. 4 hours, but people were it was taking 10 hours. And people had no gas. Like, gas stations were running out of gas, so people were, of course, panicking. There were no hotel rooms. Everything was booked up. Again, I'm just glad we got out when we did. So, again, our house was good. We're good. We're healthy. We decided to wait. The hurricane ended on last Monday. And a lot of people, of course, wanted to get back home. So all the evacuees that left, which were millions of people in Florida, decided to go ahead and come back home on Tuesday, Wednesday. And again, the roads were absolutely ridiculous. People had no gas because the gas tankers weren't able to get in after the hurricane. They had to clean up roads. So we decided just to extend our trip and just come back on Saturday. And that's what we did. So this past Saturday, I think it was like the 15th of September, is when we decided to just come on back home. So we just enjoyed family, which was awesome. It was great. We were like spiritually uplifted. We were fed so much food. My brother-in-law's mom is Korean, and she makes amazing egg rolls. Like, when my sister was dating him over 15 years ago, I talk about those egg rolls till, like, for real. So good. And I remember when I was like dating my husband, I like talked up these egg rolls. And when we had them for family dinner on Friday before we left, he was like, he even told my brother-in-law's mom, like, yeah, Amber talked these up. These were amazing. Like, these were great. So we had to do that. We got to take some pictures of like the family. Also, while we were there, my sister and I are makeup addicts, all three of us. And so we, of course, stopped at Sephora because, lo and behold, with all this going on, Rihanna's Fenty Beauty debuted. And I'd been like waiting for that forever. And so we went to Louisville. My sister lives about an hour outside of Louisville, like where Fort Knox is at. That's where my sister lives. And so we went to the mall over there and completely sold out of our shades. Like all three of us, they did not have our shades whatsoever. And my shade was matched wrong the first time. But when we went there, they, like the girl helping told us that stuff came out on Friday. We went there like Saturday or something like that. It came out on Friday, she said, and they sold $10,000 worth of the Fenty Beauty products, which is crazy. She even said, she's like, I've never seen like a launch that good at all. And it was just, again, to companies like you see it, like us black girls, us with deeper skin sets, us with deeper skin tones, we will spend money if you make products and foundations that match our skin tone. I mean, $34 for a foundation, amazing. So I didn't get my foundation in Louisville, but since my sister lives like in the country and there's not a lot of melanated people, they had my color. So I've been rocking that like for a while now. So you guys will see. I didn't really want to do like a get ready with me or anything like that, because there are tons of them on YouTube right now. So I decided that I kind of wanted to take my time, kind of wear it, see how it is long lasting through the day, give my opinions on using it with dry skin, and all that. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, as far as hurricane season goes, I don't know if my nerves can handle this. We still have about, I think, 2 more months. November 30th is when hurricane season ends. And I'm ready for it to end. And it always happens, like hurricane season starts June 1st and ends November 30th. June, I hardly ever see anything because the water on the Gulf side is still really, really cool. By August, I'm looking at like, you know, for real, it's like a soup. Like you go to the beach. I don't go to the beach. I don't know how people who are visiting go to the beach on the Gulf side, for real. Like water's 94, 98 degrees. 94, 98 degree water? No, thank you. Okay. So that is what has been going on with me. Like I said, Xander, he turned 4 while we were driving away from Irma. So, but he was just having a blast with his cousins. He had so much fun. My sister's sons are 11 and 2. And then my other sister, her daughter is 1, the same age as Kira. They're 2 months apart. So it was just so nice just to be there with family. On top of that, my brother-in-law is a barber. So if you guys are in the Radcliffe area or Louisville area, you definitely have to check him out at Tight Cuts 2. He does an amazing job. He did my eyebrows, which I need to like shape them up, like fill them in or whatever, but he did my eyebrows. He cut both my boys' hair while we were up there. He's just amazing. He can do like anybody's hair. So the boys got to, like my husband went over there and got to record a couple of videos of him with clients, working on clients and everything. So overall, even though it was a stressful reason for us to go up to Kentucky, it was nice because we got the break and encouragement that we needed. We had kind of been in a funk, and so it was nice for me to be able to go up there and, I don't know, just be with family. I miss them. It's really, really hard when you live far, far away from your family. And especially when you have kids, it's so hard to like, I don't know, you just get in a funk. You miss them. You miss them a lot. So with me being pretty much glued to the news for the past 2 weeks, it was nice when we got home on Saturday. Saturday we left again at 4 a.m., which is a good tip if you have kids. So we just decided, let's go ahead and just leave at 4 in the morning so that way we could have 5 good hours with no complaining, no crying, no nothing. We can just get to where we're going because it's about a 12-hour ride. It was perfect. So Saturday when we got here, I was able to check the house, make sure everything's good. and then catch up on, you know, my social media, catch up on blogs, catch up on all that stuff. So one thing that I was super excited to watch was the Emmys, and my boy Sterling K. Brown won for This Is Us. If you guys have not watched this show, like, you need to get on it. The new season starts like in a couple of weeks. I think it's like next week. Like, for real, you talk about crying like every episode. It's just so real and so raw and so good. It's good. But he won the Emmy. First time, I think it was like in 18 years that a black man has won leading role. And they cut the mic off on him. Like, for real, for real, for real. But it was nice that he was able to kind of give his speech back in the back. So he actually got to finish his speech. But there was a lot of melanated people winning yesterday, which was really kind of nice to see. It was a very nice, diverse group of winners at the Emmys yesterday. So like I said, if you have not seen This Is Us, get on it. You will love it. Like, it's one of the shows that my husband and I both sit down and watch. It's like good. So fall is a good time for TV, pretty much. So yeah, it was kind of nice just when your nerves are on edge for like almost 2 weeks straight, well, like a week and a half. It's nice for it's nice just to kind of veg out and watch some TV. Speaking of TV, while I was there with my sister, she made me watch this show called Boy Band. We were obsessed with boy bands back in the day, and so I watched this show on ABC. It was like a reality show for like a boy band. Literally, they had people come and sing, and they were putting them in like groups and stuff. I never even like heard about it before, but she had watched it, and she literally sat down and watched it with me. Like the entire season we did over the course of a week and a half while I was there. So it definitely wasn't like binge watching, but I actually got to watch it from beginning to end. And the people that I thought were gonna win did win, except for one. But it was just nice to kind of do like memories, because I guess, who is it? Nick from the Backstreet Boys, not my favorite Backstreet Boy at all, was one of the judges. And so it was fun just to kind of, you know, mess around and joke with my sister and just be like, it's such a weird dynamic when you see, like, you know, your sister from like when you guys were younger, and then you're both moms. So it's like we're reminiscing about stuff and yet disciplining our kids, like if they're doing something they're not supposed to do. It was just the weirdest thing, but something that I truly enjoyed, and I was so blessed to be able to do, because I know that when it comes to evacuating, that is something that not everyone can do. Whether it be your job, you just don't have the money to do it. Your car won't make it. There are things that will stop you from evacuating. I truly understand and know that we were in a position, and I'm truly blessed and thankful that we were in a position that our car could make it. We didn't have to worry about it. My husband brought his work with him, so he was able to work while we were up there, so we would still get his paycheck while we were up there. So just truly blessed that it didn't end as bad as I thought it was going to, as bad as the meteorologist thought it was going to. I mean, they were telling people to, if you're going to evacuate, like, evacuate now. So glad that everything is good. We only have 2 more months of hurricane season, and I am so ready for it to be over. But that is what's going on with me and what's been happening with these past 2 weeks. Thank you so much for sitting with me. I hope you guys, you know, twisted your hair up as well while I was sitting here twisting mine up. Now that things are kind of getting back to normal, we're trying to get back into the routine of things. I'm hoping to get back into my regular schedule as well of uploading videos every Monday. That is what I try to do. Sometimes a bonus video on Thursday, but every Monday is what I try to do. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful night, day, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this, and I will talk to you later. Bye.